Okay, here's my little expose of how I use capos. I've got your basic Kaiser capo. Also got a Walmart capo. I also have one of these. It's kind of came from the music store. It's slightly offset. You can kind of see that. Supposedly gives you a little more thumb room underneath. I don't know. I think it's kind of overrated. Then I got one of these babies. Probably my two favorite ones actually are the Walmart one and the Kaiser. Kaiser is the most one I use the most. Anyway, of course, the simple basic use of the capo is, for me, there's two reasons why I use a capo. They are to facilitate putting a song in a key that's good for my voice. I have a limited range. I can't get very high with my voice. And the other thing is it facilitates playing chords and making little moves with chords that you are best done in certain chord positions. You know, for example, that little move you can make on a D chord, that's not so easy to kind of do on a E position, for example, or the same with a C. That's easy to do, but not so well with other chord positions. So sometimes you want to use those chord positions in a certain key, so a capo, of course, makes that easier. So if I find a key of D works better for me, you know, but I want to use the C positions, so just slap the capo on the O second fret. You can do that. But I've discovered capoing on 5 strings is pretty cool. You can do things like now I can play a D position here, which is actually in real world going to be an E, but now I've got the E bass down here, so because I've only capoed, you can see 5 of the strings. A lot of things you can do with that. I play Lodi and starting out in the key of D. Then when it does that turn around to another key, I go. Now I've ended up in E, and that kind of makes a cool final verse for the song. Same thing if I just capo 5 strings up here, you can kind of see what I'm doing on the 4th fret. Now I've got a good play that C position here, but since I'm on the 4th fret, we're talking about in the real world an E chord. So, and the cool thing up here, you can do the 1-5 bass thing. Something sounds like it's trying to rattle. Anyway. Now, you're asking about 2 capos. Now, that's where we get a little tricky. Now, sometimes there are different reasons I'll do that. Here is one. I'll put capo here. It's not unlike I'm putting a capo on the 2nd fret, as you can see. It's kind of like drop tuning, but not exactly, because we're drop tuning. Typically, you're dropped, say, the low E down to a D, but in this sort of arrangement, your bottom string is not a D, but it's kind of confusing to explain, but play with it, you see what I mean. But here's an example of using 2 capos, playing Friend of the Devil. Doing that little turnaround there like that with the bass line. Now I have to reach with the thumb right here, and that could be kind of awkward. Some capos are not as friendly about giving you room under there, but this Kaiser, when I use it and this, where I clip it, and that's on that side, it works pretty good. Another thing I figured out to do is play that Fleetwood Mac, Never Going Back, in this position. Let's see, how do I do it? rusty on this guy. I think Lindsey Buckingham actually does drop tune to play the song, but this works better for me, I think. Now, the way I was talking about with doing Somebody's Baby, the Jackson Browne song, now I've got them on the 2nd and 6th fret. So I figured out the key of F sharp was best for me for playing Somebody's Baby, Jackson Browne song. So with this, I can play like the chords as such. That gives me that low bass for the root. So I don't know, there's different things you can do with that. I got another song I do on the 2nd and 4th. And that's not unlike the what I was talking about originally, just only now I'm up in another key. So that's basically it. Now I've seen some people do some fancy stuff, and I can't even remember where I've seen them. They were like, put capos somewhere. I can't remember. It's a very unusual arrangement. I think maybe it was something like that, where they capo the E and B string on the 2nd fret, and the other 4 right there. Then you're getting into territory where I get confused following along. I do best when I just capo one string at a time, but you know, everybody does it a little bit differently. So, but it's kind of fun to play around with it, with the capos. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Okay.